So this vlog's gonna get a little bit personal. Hey folks, it's Finn. Today's video is a transgender topic, and today I'm going to be talking about phalloplasty and specifically sensation recovery after phalloplasty. So, before we begin, quick warning. This video is going to be a very frank discussion of my private parts and about sex. So if this is something you do not want to watch, especially if you know me really well, do feel free to navigate away. I will not be at all offended. For those who are staying that want to know about sensation and all of those really personal private bits, also be warned, I'm going to use various words. We all have different words for our parts that we feel comfortable with, so just please do bear that in mind, that I'm just using the words that work for me when I talk about this. Okay, with that long-winded introduction out of the way, the last time I made a big update about sensation was at 2 years post-op. So today I want to revisit some of those things and talk about the way things have changed. So if you haven't already seen the 2 years post-op sensation recovery, you might want to check that out first and then come back to this vlog. So two main things have changed since that last update. The first is the way sensation has changed in my buried clitoris, which I have moved from calling my T-dick to now calling my base dick. I've renamed it over time as sensation has changed in it. The other thing that's changed is the displacement, where I touch my newly created phallus and I feel it elsewhere. The progression of sensation from where I've had my clitoris, my base dick, buried. Initially, I had to still make sure that that was involved in any sex or masturbation. It had to be stimulated, otherwise I couldn't reach orgasm. And the way that used to happen was the way any man wanks. That's my T-dick. As long as something was hitting that, I would orgasm. The way things have now changed is I no longer have to do that. That's why I used to call it the base dick. That's why it moved from being my T-dick to base dick. Now, I don't have to do that at all. I can achieve orgasm just touching the end of my penis. I have enough erotic sensation now that actually my buried clitoris, T-dick, base dick really doesn't come into the picture at all. Come, pun not intended. The second thing that's really dramatically changed is this displacement sensation. So throughout the time over the last 4 years since the phallus was created, I've gradually regained sensation, but when I touched my newly created phallus, I felt it either in my groin or in my base dick. And that's because they take a nerve from your arm and they hook it up from the back of the clitoris through your newly created phallus and also into a muscle somewhere in your lower abdomen, which gives you tactile and erotic sensation. So over time, I've been able to feel very light touch on my penis, my newly created phallus, but rather than feeling it on my penis, I've been feeling it in the groin or in my base dick, which granted is a little odd. Over time, the amount of sensation I can feel has increased, but it's always been displaced. So I've never felt it actually on my new phallus, I've felt it elsewhere. However, over the last kind of year or so, I'm still feeling the displacement, but I'm now also feeling it on my phallus itself. So something odd happens when I touch my phallus. I still get those displaced feelings, but I now can actually feel touch directly on it. Thinking about this, I think what's happening is the direct touch I feel is tactile, but the erotic message seems to still go to my base dick or to the area in my groin. So it's a strange thing to now feel the touch in two ways, and I do think it's that. It would make sense with the way it's been re-hooked up, that the nerves are all trying to make sense of everything, but because the clitoris has always been the area which provides an orgasm, perhaps it will always be that erotic sensation when touching my phallus is felt in those displaced areas, but over time, more direct touch, tactile sensation will come through the phallus itself. Nerves are incredibly amazing things, how they can regrow like this, and considering it's still happening at 4 years on, that I notice little changes here, there and everywhere, I expect it will just continue and continue as time goes on. So I'm really happy with where things are. I'm really happy now that I'm at a point where I just concentrate on my penis. I don't have to worry about accessing my base dick at all. It's just all part of one thing now. It's just one entire penis, and I don't have to think about separate areas. I enjoy touch directly on my penis, and I can orgasm directly with my penis. To have both tactile and erotic sensation is incredible, and I'm really pleased. So I've had a few questions from people. Elle has asked very politely, do I feel any sensation during copulation? That's a lovely word, isn't it? Yes, I do. I have a male stroker toy, and inside it is ribbed. And I was experimenting one day, just, you know, because for experiment. And I can distinctly feel all the ribbed inside. And it did exactly what I said earlier, where if I run the stroker over my penis, I can feel the ribbedness directly on it as a touch sensation, and I feel the erotic sensation that that causes in my base dick and my groin. Anno 2015 asked about sensation in my scrotum. Now, I've never lost sensation there. I had a testicle implant at stage 1, which is rare now, that doesn't really happen. And even straight after that, I never lost any sensation in what was my labia and is now my scrotum. That is completely 100% sensation. Never lost it from day one. It's always remained there, and it's a really nice sensation there. That is a direct touch. It's just how it was even before phalloplasty, and it's both tactile and erotic. J Jumblevids, wonderful name, has asked about the sensation down there and how it feels. As I say, it's a really wonderful feeling. It's a very strong feeling. It's getting stronger every day. But if I stop and focus on it in the way I've just explained it to you, it is very odd to have this two separate sensation thing going on. But of course, in the moment when it matters, those two feelings of erotic in the base dick and sensation touch on the phallus obviously just come together. No pun intended. So sensation is not what I was expecting, and I keep saying this. It's not at all what I thought would happen. I thought gradually it would be like having pins and needles and then gradually sensation coming back. But it hasn't been like that at all. It's been a process of regaining sensation, but that sensation, rather than feeling on the new penis, has initially been felt elsewhere, but is only now really directly on the penis. But regardless, that's never actually got in the way of it being an enjoyable sensation. I've not ever lost the ability to feel sensation and orgasm at all. It's just that over time it's moved from being displaced to now gradually being more direct. Evan Mark has asked about burial of the clitoris, what I initially called my T-dick and then called my base dick. I was worried about having it buried. I might do a whole video on this actually, but it's not ever been a problem. I have always been able to find it and access it under the skin. Now that I've had the testicular implants, my left one is very high, so it actually covers part of where my T-dick is buried. I can still get to it, but it would be a problem if I needed to directly stimulate it all the time, because it is actually part hiding it now. But I can still easily move that testicle over and get to where my clitoris is buried. So yes, you'll still be able to find it, you'll still be able to directly stimulate it. Just watch the placement of where they put the testicular implants. If yours is high like mine, you might want them to lower it down a bit so you can more directly access that. But I've mentioned this before in a couple of videos that my left ball's way too high, but I'm done. I can't be bothered to change it, and it's fine as it is. But for your purpose, because you're having pubic fallow and you want to be able to access that under the skin, yes, absolutely. And you can still feel when it gets an erection as well, so it's very, very easy to find. Most of the questions I've got are about the ability to orgasm and people being worried about losing that ability. I've never ever lost that ability at all. It's just that over time, over the last 4 years, how that's happened has changed. So initially it was still by directly stimulating my base dick, and then it was by the action of pulling, so that the base dick was pulled or hit upon would then cause me to orgasm. Now it's anything. I can touch the base of my dick, the top of my dick, the middle of my dick, it doesn't matter. I achieve orgasm without even having to think about the buried T-dick. So that's been a progress over time in how it's changed, but all the way through it, I've had the ability to orgasm. A few people have asked about the difference between orgasming with my old parts than with my new parts. And I think it is more of an external orgasm now than an internal one. When you have the vaginectomy, the way they do it here in the UK, they no longer take the lining away like they used to. And this is not very easy to hear, it always makes me squirm, they burn it away. This means that those muscles inside are still able to contract for an orgasm. So a lot of trans guys say they can still feel an internal orgasm. I really can't. All of mine's now outside in my dick. And the interesting thing is, I have the sensation as if I'm actually ejaculating. Not quite sure why I have that sensation, but I do. And the first time it happened, I thought I'd wet myself. I thought that was what was going on. Nothing was there at all. But I had a distinct sensation of ejaculating. And maybe that's just the way the nerve's been hooked through. I don't know. But there you go. We handled that all right, didn't we? Not an easy topic to talk about, but it is so important, and I know that people do really appreciate it, because it's something I was really scared about. I was so worried, you know, would I have this penis and not be able to feel anything, not be able to orgasm? But absolutely, most people now retain sensation, retain the ability to orgasm. It's just how that happens might differ in how you feel it and what works for you. It's all about getting to know your new body. I'm going to say this again as I say it in every video. Surgery doesn't cure everything. I've had years of feeling at odds with that part of my body, of having not very great sexual encounters. There's been lots of damage done over the years. And so I've had to also undo some of that, have a lot of self-help around relearning my body and relearning to enjoy sex. Lots of you might have seen my Summer of Exploration a couple of years ago, where I had to rediscover my sexual self. We have to put work into this. We have to put work into healing from the past, and also work into getting to know our new bodies, because unlike cis men who are born with them and get to know them over time, we are suddenly given ours when they're created. And it doesn't happen overnight. I've had this wonderful new penis created. Now it's up to me to do the work of healing and to get to know this new body. So always bear that in mind. It's gonna take time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's gonna be okay. I really hope that helped. I'm in the process of putting a blog together of the progression of the sensation right from the first stage 4 years ago to now. So if I haven't answered your question here, please do drop me a message in the comments below or over on my website, and I will add it to that blog. A note on blogs as well. Some of you know about my Tumblr blog. However, I don't use that anymore. That has gradually been shut down because Tumblr is starting to ban adult content. My new blog, FinnTheInfinncible.com, is where you want to head to. That is where I'm moving all of my Phalloplasty information, and that is where you will find a blog later in this week in a more detailed, organised structure about the return of sensation. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great week, and if you're off to Brighton this weekend for Trans Pride, do come and say hello if you see me. Don't be shy. I'm always shy, but it's really nice to meet new friends. Take care of yourselves, and don't forget to subscribe for regular Finn installments. Bye bye.